Hi, it's Darnell with Whalen Recipes, and this is my review of the Chefman TurboFry Touch 2-quart digital air fryer. So let's go ahead and get it unboxed. Alright, so it comes with a little bit of paperwork here. So inside this little envelope there's a little owner's manual there. So that's the paperwork. And I wanted to show you the power cord. It's for a small air fryer, I mean, it's a lengthy power cord, but you know, it's not too long, but for its size, I mean, it's much bigger than it, so you can wrap it around it a few times. Anyway, it's a 2-prong polarized cord, and the cooker is 900 watts. Given its small size, 900 watts should suit it fine. And with 900 watts being such a low wattage, you could probably put 2 of these on the same circuit in the kitchen and probably not blow the circuit as long as nothing else. But these 2 things are on the same circuit in the kitchen with just 900 watts. It's pretty efficient in that regard. Now they mentioned that you should never use aerosol spray inside of this cooker, and it could damage its non-stick coating. They say that it may cause the coating to chip, so that wouldn't be good. And the temperature ranges for this cooker are 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The dimensions are 10 inches in depth by 10 inches width, 8.3 inches in height. And it's made of aluminum and plastic. So with aluminum and whatever is in the non-stick coating, as far as you know, the health of these things, you know, that's something for you to research. I would prefer everything stainless steel and glass, but that's what it's made of. The cooker weighs just 5 pounds, so very lightweight. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you around the cooker so you can get a good look at it. So very easy to lift, of course. You see the side, you see the back. That's your exhaust out the back there. And I mean, that's basically it. I guess, you know, maybe it's taking air in, maybe through, like up here on the side, there's like some grooves on the side. There's some air at the bottom. Maybe, I don't know if it's sucking air in through the bottom or not. But very small form factor. Now I just want to say, as I continue in this review, that if it hits a point that doesn't interest you, there's should be timestamps in the description. Also, if you are using a platform that has the chapters feature, you can check the chapters and find the section that might more interest you. Also on this channel, there are over 900 different videos, all involving countertop cookers and such. Also, there's over 80 cooker reviews, over 80 different types of cookers, air fryers, countertop type cookers here on the channel. So there's plenty here for you to check out. Okay, so giving you a close-up view, we'll get it plugged in a moment and show you how it looks all lit up. But right now, you see inside it's got the basket there, and basically it's just the little kind of like air fry rack inside of there. So that's basically all there is to the parts of it. But let's just check real quick inside here. You see that it's got plastic kind of going around the inside there, and then up top here we have the air fry fan, basically a big heating coil and air fry fan. So you see over there on the left there's that ambient probe over there. So that's basically all there is inside of it. Alright, so I'm going to do some quick measurements of this cooker by itself here, just so you get an idea how things measure up in an independent measure versus spec. So when we do the height, we do see about 10 inches high. When I go across the bottom here, let's see, yeah, it's about, well, it's roughly almost a little less than 8 inches. Yeah, it's a little less than 8, I think. Yeah, it's a little less than 8 across that way. And let me go front to back. I'm going all the way to the handle. Yeah, I'm getting about 10 inches this way, front to back, all the way to the handle. Now let me go inside of the basket here. In the basket down to the rack is 3 inches there. And let's see, if you do like a diagonal, we get about 8 inches that way. If you do just across, we got 6.5 that way. And this way, we've got about 6 inches that way. So those are your general measurements of the cooker. Okay, so now I've got the Gourmet 8-quart digital air fryer with window and light next to the 2-quart Chefman. You can see the major difference in size, since this one can hold 4 times as much as the 2-quart Chefman. And I'm not going to do measurements of this one, but I did do those in the original review of this cooker, which is here on the channel. And I just want to show, you know, like the basket difference in size. I mean, it's just huge. You can put this little 2-quart basket right in there, cook it up inside the Gourmet. But I just wanted to give you an idea of just how much smaller this one is compared to another air fryer. Alright, so now I'm going to do a plug-in of the cooker here. So let's see what happens. And it's lit up. I think you may not be able to see things as well with the light on, so I'm going to turn the light off. Alright, so with the big light off, you might be able to see the little power indicator right there on the touchscreen display. But I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and we see that the full display lights up, and we see all the buttons. And so you basically get your power button, you got your start stop, you got your time, temp, and plus and minuses, and you can use your time and temp to switch between your time and your temperature. This cooker only has one function, which is air fry, and that's it. And if you want to switch between Fahrenheit and Celsius, you're supposed to be able to hold this time temp button for a few seconds, and you see it switch to Celsius, 205 Celsius. Now if I hold it again for 3 seconds, I get my 400 degrees Fahrenheit back. Now for time, I want to real quick, I mean I can go down to 1 minute probably, I'm going to assume, but I want to see where the max is for time, since we already know the max and minimum for temperature settings. Yeah, it's 1 hour and then it rolls over. So you get 1 hour of time and you get between 200 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit on your temperature. So it doesn't roll, oh it does roll over. So it rolls over on temperature if you want it to, you know, once you get to 400 it rolls over. So cool. Alright, so now I'm going to do a temperature test of the cooker. So I've got a small oven thermometer here and going to stick it on in. I will say this oven thermometer, I found it could be off by about 25 degrees, like a little low 25. So if it reads 375, it's probably hitting 400, just letting you know up front about that. I can't use one of my more accurate thermometers because those are too big to go in here. So we have to go with this and see how things work out. So we've got 400, I mean it's 1 hour, but we're not going to do an hour. We'll let it run for a while. So I'm just going to hit start, and it just starts counting down. Oh, that was 1 minute. Hold on, maybe we can make changes on the fly. Can we make changes? Yes, we can make changes on the fly. Whew. Let's see if we can. We'll just do 50. We'll just count down from 50. But we'll let it just go ahead and run for a while, and then we'll check what the temperature is inside the thing. But it is nice that it continues to give you the minutes and the seconds, but the display does kind of flash back and forth, since I guess there's not enough room on this display to show everything at once. But we'll let it go for a while. Alright, I've let it go for about 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes of runtime. And we see, yeah, it's reading about 400 there. So, like I said, sometimes it reads a little low for me. So, I do believe it's probably hitting its target, so that's pretty good. You notice when I opened, it did pause, so it does pause when you open the door, which is pretty cool. Let's see, if I hit stop, well, I guess if I hit stop, it just kind of ended the cook, and it went back to this older setting that I had. But let's see if I do 60, if I start it up again. I just want to keep it hot while I feel around. The top is hot, but I can keep my hand there for a bit. It's hotter on the sides. The sides are hotter than the top, even though I can put my hand there. Right there by the door is pretty hot. And I think I turned it off by accident. Yeah, make sure it keeps running. Yeah, I feel the hot air coming out of the back, so I don't want to put my hand on the back. The lower part of the back is about as hot as the front. So like fronts and sides are pretty, it's like it's hot, but you could like bump your hand or something, sorry. You could bump your hand or something against it and you wouldn't burn yourself outright. You'd feel enough heat to know that you need to get off of it. You know what I mean? So let's see what else I can do here now. Let's just feel down under here. Yeah, down here on the floor. I mean, down here on the bottom feels okay. So it's not like it's heating up the surface underneath of it at all. Now I'm just going to do a quick decibel check. So we see it staying in the low 40s. That's definitely lower than like air fryer ovens, large air fryer ovens, or other larger basket air fryers. Quieter than the one that I showed side by side here a moment ago. So basically that's our temperature test, and I also, since it seems like it remembers what we set it for, let's say I turn it off again. Yeah, so it remembers that. I guess it does like a cool down, but I'm just going to pull the plug, even though probably, you know, manufacturer might not want me to, because I need to test if I plug it back in after unplugging it, what will it do? Well, it doesn't remember that it's hot. It doesn't remember that it's hot, and it reverts back to the old settings. So it does have memory. I'm just opening the door for it to cool down a little bit. It does remember the settings as long as you don't unplug it. That's pretty cool for a small little air fryer like this. Okay, so things are pretty well cooled down, cool enough for me to touch any part of the basket without any problem. Up here it's still a little warm. I mean, I can tap my finger there, but it's still a little hot on that heating coil. But I want to go ahead and do a toast test at this point. It can only hold one slice of my homemade bread. This is light sourdough whole wheat bread. I've got a video here on the channel of how I make it. So now I want to take this slice of bread here. It's room temperature, no butter or anything is on it. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in and turn the cooker on. We'll keep it at 400 for the time. We'll bring that down to, let's try, I guess we'll try 4. We'll see what happens. So we'll just let that run for the 4 minutes and we'll see what we get. Alright, so time's up. Does a few not too loud beeps. And we see that, try and get the, I guess I'll just have to not burn myself. Get it out. See, in 4 minutes, it didn't put like a much, I guess I'll turn the light on. Giving you a close-up view of the bread here, you see it got a little toasting kind of in there a little bit, and that's about it. Just a little bit of toasting there on the back. It looks like it just kind of, you know, cooked through a little bit there. So nothing really down on the bottom. So it seems like most of that heat is probably right at the center of that heat coil, and maybe a little less on some of the out parts. I mean, this is how it was put in. So up here, you know, maybe it's a little hotter than down bottom there. We see we didn't get much of any cook on the bottom part there. Alright, now I'm going to do an air fry test of a frozen salmon fillet. I've put some extra light olive oil on it, and that's extra light olive oil, don't confuse it with regular olive oil. And I've seasoned it with some lemon pepper seasoning and some organic no salt seasoning. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. Things are still a bit hot inside, and just drop it on in, and so it's in there. And then close things up and go and turn it on. I'm going to bring that temp down to 375. Cook time, I'm going to let it go for 20 minutes. Let's see what I get. So hit start, let that run, and we'll see how it turns out. I forgot to mention that halfway through a cook, the shake reminder pops up and comes on, so you get a shake reminder halfway through cooks. Keep that in mind. Alright, cook time's up. I need to check the meat temperature real quick, so got a meat thermometer here. Yeah, we're super hot, so probably could have done 15 minutes, but that stays kind of right there for a moment while I get the thermometer put down and get it on out of here. So there we have the finished cut of fish there. Alright, so the salmon, I let it basically cool down a bit, absorb some juices. I've taken one bite off camera, but I'm going to do another bite with you here. So there you go. Okay, so basically leaving it in a little too long, it did get a little dried out, but still good. Basically I should have done about 15 minutes and stopped it, especially since it was already warmed up. So it's able to cook things up pretty quick. Some other cookers and even basket air fryers may have needed even a little longer, or would have been, you know, a little cooler after 20 minutes, even after they were warmed up a little bit. So for it to be way overcooked after 20 minutes, even though it was, well, with it being a little warm, this little air fryer is able to do a lot of work and cook things up really well with just those 900 watts. So that's pretty good. So now I want to talk about cleaning the cooker. With cleaning, the basket and the little rack that's inside of there, those are both top rack dishwasher safe, but I would recommend hand wash everything. That's what I'm planning to do. And that'll probably help also make sure that that coating and all stays on there longer, so that that doesn't come off. And also, don't use anything abrasive with this cooker as far as cleaning. Just use like a wet soapy rag to wipe things off and clean them off, and then a wet one to wipe things down and then dry it off, or let it air dry if you're not going to use it for a while. And as far as the warranty, it comes with a 1-year limited warranty. And so basically nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing given to me. I prefer it that way. And so you can always check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Again, that's superwaveovenrecipes.com. There's a buy me a coffee option there. Also in the video description, lots of ways to help the channel, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations, link to the Amazon shop where you pay the same price and help this channel. But seems like a nice little cooker. And with all that said, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.